Hey Susie, that was a good clinic. It was really good to get our horses out, get them out for the weekend, and that was actually fun to do.
It was fun, and you know, one of the reasons that I just love Better Horses is because we get to keep growing our horse knowledge and keep learning more and more.
You know what? We're not going to stop. In fact, in this episode, we have more clinicians and more trainers coming your way. Hello everyone, my name's Ed Adams.
And I'm Susie Arbo.
And welcome to Better Horses.
We will begin with legendary trainer Al Dunning from the Almosta Ranch in Scottsdale, Arizona. Al breaks down the difference and the benefits of riding with a hackamore.
And welcome Skye Liikanen, a professional horse trainer from Australia. Skye grew up riding horses competitively in dressage. She spent over 4 years as a trick rider and now a headliner at the International Liberty Festival in Kentucky. We caught up with Skye as she shares her special training techniques.
Next, we wrangle down to Weatherford, Oklahoma to visit with professional horse trainer Phil Haugen. This week, Phil talks about creating timing in your stop.
And now a heartwarming story of Stephanie Beck, who shares her journey in finding Vimer. Stephanie explains her deep connection and the time they spent training at Signature Friesian in Baldwin City, Kansas.
So if you love horses as much as we do, you're going to love this program. And it's the only horse show on your local broadcast television station.
And also airing on RFD TV and now the Cowboy Channel.
We'll be right back.
American Animal Health has what we call an unconditional commitment. Our team members have spent countless hours relocating horses, finding horses and helping those in need, going and helping in the California wildfires. One of the passions we have as a team is not only helping horses, but helping people. And when we can put the two together, that really lights us up. It's just who we are.
Hi, Better Horses TV. I'm Al Dunning here in Scottsdale, Arizona. You know, not too long ago I did a thing for Better Horses TV on hackamores, and it seemed real popular, so I thought I'd talk a little bit more about them. You know, adjusting the hackamore is one of the most important things. This is a Don Brown hackamore. It's got a short nose piece. That nose piece needs to make sure it's above the bridge of the nose. The bridge of the nose is this bony area right here. You can feel it. There's like a little slight bump there. What you don't want to do is get it down here. Right here is the edge of the nostril. And right here at the edge of the nostril, you don't want this hackamore to be pushing into that area. You want it to work like this across the top of that area. And when you pull that hackamore back, it should look like this. When you pull it back, it should go about halfway between the jowl and the mouth. So watch this. When I pull it back, it's right there. As you notice on this hackamore, I've got a little bit of a jowl string here. Because of the short nose button here, I've got to hold this headstall down just a little bit out of the eyes. You know, all those adjustments make your hackamore work correctly and make your horse work well. You know, riding in a hackamore is one of the best pieces of equipment you can ride on a young horse. You know, basically, some people start them in a hackamore, whether it's a rope hackamore or something like that. But most trainers that train with a vaquero style start riding a horse a little later after the snaffle in the hackamore through their 3-year-old and 4-year-old year, and to prepare them for the bridle and for the neck rein. So, you know, that's why I think hackamores are so important. As you can see, this hackamore, this is a 5/8 inch hackamore. It has a good flex to it. Some are stiffer than others, some are softer than others, and you use that on the horse. If some horse is a lighter horse, use something like this. Heavier horse you might do with a rawhide, a little stiffer hackamore rather than this kangaroo hackamore. Okay, the Makati are usually made out of mane hair Back in the day, they were made out of tail hair, and they were really prickly, and pretty much every hackamore man rode with gloves because they were so prickly that they had to have gloves on. The reason they were prickly like that, so they could rub the neck of the horse with that, and the horse would respond and learn to go away from that rein. So those are some of the important factors. You know, I talked about adjusting the hackamore. Now I'm going to talk about tying a hackamore. As you can see, this hackamore is already tied. This is tied with an older style where you tie and the tied rope comes out through the side in the front. And notice it has a smooth bar in the back, and both the reins come out the back like that. The smooth bar acts like a little bit of an easy stop against the horse's jaw. Once adjusted properly, the basis of a hackamore is how it rocks on the horse's nose. We always say when a horse is a good hackamore horse, they either have a good nose or they don't have a good nose. Now I'll go ahead and tie it. I'll stick the Makati through the hackamore, leave a little bit of tassel out. I'll turn it counterclockwise as I go around. So I'll go around again, and then on the third time I go around, I'll go ahead and make a set of reins. So I come through the hackamore just like that. Normal set of reins would be about 1.5 arms long. That's how I've always measured it. So right about there, about 1.5 arms long. That way you can either ride it single or you can do it with a loop in your left hand. Now, once I make sure these are straight. If these are all twisted up, I'll adjust by twisting the Makati around to make it right. Then I'll take this the opposite direction. So you see how this rein comes in from here? I come this rein around here. Okay, and then notice there's a straight bar across the back. I'm going to go one more time around, and then I'm going to tie it my way, which is going through the back. So I open the hackamore up, I take the end of the Makati, and I take it through this back piece right here, in between the reins, just like that. The reason I like this, and I don't know if it makes a huge bit of difference whether you tie it like that other hackamore or tie it like this, but like this, that comes out between the reins, holds the reins apart, and it comes straight back out the back to tie to the saddle, rather than around the front, which may turn the hackamore a little bit. Everything comes out the back. When I'm finished, I take this and I put it on my foot, and I cinch it up a little bit. Cinch it up. Then I spread the hackamore a little bit, coil the rope back up, and it's ready to go. One thing you need to do, if you tie your hackamore fairly tight with the Makati, is loosen them up after every use before you hang your hackamore back up in your tack room. When you keep it too tight, it can twist your hackamore. Really great rated hackamores like the Don Browns that I use, pretty hard to twist, but a lot of other hackamores are easy to do. You take good care of your hackamore. Make sure you use soap on it or some kind of a cream. There are creams that are made just for hackamores like that, like a rawhide cream or something like that. So think about that. Take good care of your hackamore. Ride your horse with a hackamore. Make sure you pull them right, soft, and have a great ride.
You're watching Better Horses, raising your horse experience.
So basically I spent a week going in and out of I think every tractor dealership in Southwest Missouri. Went to Heritage Tractor, basically told them what we wanted, what we were going to use it for. It was a great experience all around, quick in and out. Tractor was here that day. We're just a small business. That tractor was a big financial decision for us. We got the price we wanted, we got a better tractor than we expected. We'd be lost without it at this point. So if you're shopping, definitely go John Deere and the guys at Heritage.
We're here for the hardworking, the resilient. We're for the people who measure their days by what needs to get done, not by hours. Where kids learn responsibility at a young age and generations work side by side. where work doesn't pause for holidays or bad weather. It just gets harder. Where value and hard work means more than the clothes you wear. We're Kleinschmidt's Western Store, Higginsville, Missouri.
My name is Skye Liikanen and I'm from Queensland, Australia. I'm based at a place called Caesara Farm near the Gold Coast. My business is called Silver Sky Equine and I'm here as a presenter at the International Liberty Horse Festival. I find it really important to find a connection with your horse. So even if I have a horse sent to me, whether it's to be started under saddle, re-educated, I always put that initial Liberty starting process on them to really build a nice solid connection with my horses. I first got introduced to Liberty work actually through Dan Steers back in Australia, and then was really lucky enough to come work for Dan Elizabeth James for 2 years here in Kentucky. So I'm really lucky. I'm actually a retrainer for a company called International Thoroughbred Retirement. So we actually bring back race horses that are usually Australian bred or New Zealand bred. Some are European, Irish as well. So they race in Hong Kong and we bring them back to Australia and put them through a roughly 8-week re-education program to then run them through a free adoption program to find them their forever home. So today I'm presenting a program where I'm using the long reins to enhance the Liberty horse. So we talk about a lot of the horse's body positioning, using itself in the Liberty work. And so I can actually use the long reins to enhance the horse's body positions. So for example, if I'm looking for more sit in the canter, I can use the long reins, but also, help enhance my whip cues to my horses and how I use my body to them to come back and sit a little bit more in the canter. Or for example, if, I'm working on, the side pass towards me, I can help use the long reins to develop that horse's understanding. Another big one is the stop cue. So we talk about that a lot, where the horse's 4 feet stop exactly where they are, and I can help use the long reins to create a nice square halt, where the horse is nice and straight, they're through their body and they're nice and soft. So hopefully, those sort of little exercises that I do in the long reins can transfer to the horse once it's loose at Liberty as well. For me, the Liberty work really creates that deeper connection, building that softness within your horse, having very subtle cues. So, I think that transfers all the way through to under saddle, and that's whether your forte is dressage or reining or show jumping. I think Liberty really shows how subtle we actually can be with our horses, and I really wish, we can, as the association grows, we can show how much you can do with less gear, all that, with the ability to show, how cool horses actually are, how fine-tuned we can have them. So that's where I think Liberty's really going to take off, because when you see a Liberty horse work around, it is epic. So yeah, that's what I would love people just to give it a shot. Yeah.
Hey cowboys and cowgirls, don't go anywhere. We have more better horses coming your way.
Here's to the unbreakable spirit of today's ranchers. For all those running cow-calf operations, the American International Charolais Association is dedicated to strengthening your herd with the Charolais breed. The Charolais Advantage delivers more pounds for more profit. Getting Charolais genetics into commercial herds is the heart of a successful cattle operation. White hides bring an inherited benefit to commercial herds, providing advantages of growth and feedlot efficiency. It's white gold. For more information, go to CharolaisUSA.com.
So basically I spent a week going in and out of, I think, every tractor dealership in Southwest Missouri. Went to Heritage Tractor, basically told them what we wanted, what we were going to use it for. It was a great experience all around, quick in and out. Tractor was here that day. We're just a small business. That tractor was a big financial decision for us. We got the price we wanted, we got a better tractor than we expected. We'd be lost without it at this point. So if you're shopping, definitely go John Deere and the guys at Heritage.
Hey everybody, thanks for having us on Better Horses TV this week. Today's training tip is about creating timing in your stop, which when you create timing in your stop, that timing is all because of your feel, then comes your timing, and then also your balance, okay? But creating great timing in your stop, the first thing you have to understand is when we go to stop our horses, we're riding along and we know that it's coming. We know that we're gonna ask them to stop. But what you have to remember is your horse has no idea, okay? And that's why when we talk about feel, timing, and balance, it's so important that they understand the feel of your body before you ask for the response. Because really and truly, creating great timing in your stop is all about helping your horse understand that feel before you ever ask for the stop. So it's the signal before the signal that really matters, okay? And I'll demonstrate this. So I'm gonna ride back towards you on Wit here, and when I've got my horse collected, I've got my legs against him, and I push down on my heels and I sit, okay? When I push down on my heels and sit, I want to give my horse just a second or two to find that answer before I get a hold of him with my bridle reins, or before I pull that slack out of my bridle reins. And the reason is, just think about this from the horse's perspective. Okay, we're running along, you know, and of course it's the faster you're going, right? The faster you're going, the faster our hands become, okay? So we're running along at a pretty good clip, and all of a sudden, if I'm the horse and you just go, "Erch," and I'm running, and all of a sudden, you know, I get my mouth pulled on pretty hard, all you're gonna do is scare that horse or trouble that horse, and if it's painful, it's going to cause a reactive response. So creating that timing when you go to stop your horse, it starts at a walk, okay? It starts at a walk by, I'm riding, now I sit, drop my hands. As soon as my horse gets off the bridle and stops moving his feet, I release, okay? It's such a simple exercise, and you need to work on that at a walk, a trot, and at a lope. You know, you got to remember that, you know, this horse is going to weigh 1150, 1175, and if he's going real hard, if he's running hard and I sit, and when he feels me sit, he goes, oh, a little light goes off in his head, and he goes, oh, I know what's coming. Well, that's going to help him get ready to stop. Stopping a horse is not hard at all if your horse understands to get ready to stop. And that's, you know, that's one of the weaknesses I see in a lot of horses, where people are meeting with a challenge. A lot of times the horse just doesn't know to get ready, okay? So that's our training tip for this week. I hope that helps. You know, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us on our website, philhaugenhorsemanship.com, or on Facebook or Instagram at Phil Haugen Horsemanship. Here again, thanks again to Better Horses TV for having us on, and thanks to RFD TV for having us on. We really appreciate it. Have a great week of training, and God bless y'all.
You're watching Better Horses, raising your horse experience.
How do you define yourself as a cowboy? One is the kind of horse you ride. Another is what kind of hat you wear. J.W. Brooks Custom Hats tailors hats for your lifestyle. I like their hats because they stay on your head, they fit great, and they look good too. They also have a wonderful woman's fashionable line of hats. J.W. Brooks Custom Hats, the family business. Between J.W., his wife, Jody, and son, Kate. You know, J.W. himself is a Western artist, a country singer, and a master craftsman of hats. My new J.W. Brooks Custom Hat has a wide sweatband. It has a cushioned fit, patented design, and luxurious comfort. This hat is 100X belly fur. It's the nicest hat I've ever had. You know, J.W. Brooks Custom Hats are smoking good looking.
I'd always wanted a horse. The first horse that I saw on television was in the movie The Black Stallion back in the 80s, and I just thought he was so beautiful and I wanted a stallion. I didn't know at that time what having a stallion would entail, but I was like, I have to have a black stallion. That's what I'm going to get when I grow up. And then later on I saw the movie Lady Hawk, which features a beautiful Friesian stallion, and I looked at that horse and I saw the hair and the feathers and I was like, what is that? Most beautiful horse I'd ever seen. So that was my introduction to the Friesian breed. The Friesian breed, which comes from the Netherlands, it actually comes from a province that's northern part of Netherlands called Friesland. The horses were actually probably well known for being the horses that the knights rode. Friesian horse was able to carry the knight and all of their heavy armor. The breed became extinct almost 3 different times over the last few hundred years. So in order to bring the breed back to life, so to speak, a group of Dutchmen over in the Netherlands created a studbuck registry. They have done a wonderful job in bringing the horse numbers back up. Friesian breed is still considered a rare breed because the numbers are not as great as like the quarter horse or saddlebred or thoroughbred. I was still looking for Friesians and was looking online, and I found a place in Baldwin City, Kansas called Signature Friesians, and I came out here to look and then fell in love with a black Friesian stallion named Vimer. He's so sweet and he can be docile. He just pretty much brings a smile on anyone's face who is around him. So during the work week, all I can think about is going to the barn to see Vimer on the weekends. Thinking about Vimer is what helps me get through the work week. I think anyone that owns their own horse or is around horses would probably get that and understand that. When I get to the barn on the weekends, sometimes I might lunge him, I might just brush him, fix his braids. But what I get a big thrill out of is taking him out to the back pasture and just letting him run loose and kicking it up and just being a horse. That gives me a lot of enjoyment. Just sitting there watching him eat grass is just a lot of fun for me. When I get to the barn on the weekends to come see Vimer, sometimes we'll groom him, fix his braids, which can be a lot of upkeep. Friesians are kind of a high maintenance type of animal with all the hair and the tail and the feathers. And then there'll be times when I will take him out to the arena and lunge him. That helps him get some exercise, and we'll work on his different gaits, the walk, trot, canter. My life was a little boring before Vimer, to be honest. He definitely fulfills my days now. Yeah, watching him run freely is just, it's hard to explain, it's hard to put in words, you have to see it. Especially when he's just kicking and bucking and just being a horse, and he will take off running, and you can't believe that this big, huge horse, which they're almost as big as a draft horse, is out there running that fast. So it's pretty spectacular to sit there and watch that. Going back to when I was a little girl, I always hoped but never imagined that I really would ever have my dream horse, much less have Vimer. Vimer is a unicorn when it comes especially to a stallion. He is so sweet. He's somewhat easy to handle compared to other stallions. I can't tell you how that just fits. He just fits with me perfectly. Our personalities fit. The fact that he is such a great horse for someone like me who does not have that much experience, who's never had a horse before. For my first horse, he's perfect. He really should have a horn on his head.
Hey, thank you for watching Better Horses. And if you've missed any of our shows, check us out at betterhorses.com, where you can see all our episodes.
You can also follow us on Facebook or listen to any of our podcasts right from your mobile device.
And don't forget our newspaper coming out 5 times a year.
You're gonna love it.